Morning, it's Sunday, December 8th, and the Russian-Ukraine war has been going on for almost 3 years now. And Vladimir Putin is in a crisis because the Russian soldiers are dying faster than new recruits can be found. So why doesn't he just back off? Why is he going crazy and trying to get the Ukraine when it's destroying his country? So a new analysis has found that the Russian army is having difficulty getting recruits, in spite of the fact that they are offering signing-on bonus, and Putin's army has suffered staggering casualty numbers since Putin decided to initiate its full-scale invasion of Ukraine nearly 3 years ago. And so the numbers are varied depending upon who you talk to, but it's widely accepted that Russian casualties number in the hundreds of thousands. And the Ukraine General Staff currently places the figure of Russians killed or injured at 747,370, as if that matters that much. So the Ukraine and Russia are locked in this high casualty war, and both sides are using new tactics to get an edge. You must get an edge in this war, but you can't afford to lose hundreds of thousands of people doing it. So we have a new death record after a meat grinder strategy in the Ukraine. The British Ministry of Defense has said Russian forces lost a record 2,030 personnel in a single day last month, and the average daily loss rate for Moscow troops is somewhere over 1,500 a day. Oh, that the losses have been that high. And in November, they saw a new high of 2,030, as I mentioned before. So we have the Ministry of Defense suggesting that November could be the most devastating month in the war for Russia, with a total of over 45,000 casualties reported by the Ukrainian General Staff. The statement further stated that almost 42,000 Russian casualties were recorded in October of 2024. So between November and October and the months preceding that, it's the 5th straight month that Russian forces have suffered increases each month. The high rate of casualties was likely a reflection of the higher tempo of Russian operations and offensive, the meat grinder strategy, so to speak. Well, the only meat that's being ground are the Russian soldiers. And so Russia has a terrible problem now recruiting. They can't get people to come and run in this war. So Russia is attempting to ramp up the pressure on Ukraine as they strive to push the Ukrainian forces back on them several different fronts, including Kursk and Kapensky and Turetsky and whatever else is out there. But this strategy is not working well for them. And the latest update from the Defense intelligence on Ukraine's situation as of December 5th revealed the endurance of Russia's high casualty rate is expected to continue at about 1,000 a day throughout December. So what's going to happen when the new year rolls around? Is Putin going to continue this madness? Probably yes, because there's nobody out there that seems to be able to curtail him and get his head in place to give up this stupid war. But Putin won't give up this stupid war. In fact, he is trying to lure Russians into the army by offering lucrative signing-on bonuses and generous salaries. And early this year, Putin signed a decree doubling the upfront payments for volunteers to boost his recruitment numbers. It's pure insanity. This war is going to cost Russia a fortune, and they probably won't win it. So now recruits are receiving a signing-on bonus of about $3,000, in addition to their monthly wages of about $16,000. That doesn't seem like a hell of a lot of money to me to fight and to put your life on the line. But maybe that is a lot of money to a Russian. This means that the minimum soldier's wage in this first year is over $25,000 a year. That's almost triple the average annual salary in the country, which is about $10,000. So even with this high group of financial incentive, the Kremlin is struggling to recruit new soldiers fast enough to replace the escalating number of casualties due to the stupidity of Vladimir Putin and the way he's running this war. So there's no question in my mind, if Russia wins, they won't be able to afford to take care of Ukraine and Russia itself. And of course, nobody out there has the balls to tell Putin to stop. Stop completely. You're ruining our future. He hasn't heard anything like that. And there's some in the independent Russian media have estimated that Putin's army is losing more soldiers daily than it can enlist. So with all of these facts running hard against Putin, he keeps his head down in the sand and keeps sending these poor bastards out to lose their lives, or if they don't lose their lives, to end up in a critically injured position. So when the numbers show that the Russian casualties are about 600 to 750 a day, but they can only recruit about 500 to 600 a day, then that looks good. It really isn't good news for the Ukraine. Because even though the numbers suggest that the Kremlin cannot mass significant military reserves, the army isn't collapsing yet. And so Russia continues to attack the Ukraine, in spite of the fact that they have these deadly months. So will Putin's madness end good for Russia? And what is he going to do when he has a whole other nation to take care of? It's a mess. And so I will leave you with that mess this morning. Have a great day. Bye.